all the objective and subjective reasons why Nanaimo 1200 from Syncros from now on hangs on my handlebars, because winter is coming. Dark mornings and even darker evenings are becoming already, and going to be even more casual as we go towards the December. If you ride in the city mostly, you don't need any extreme lights to ride safely. This changes drastically if you have to turn into a forest, where even already known pathways or single tracks becomes not so known. Plus, choosing proper light on your bike kind of defines your successes or failures during experiences in the dark times. Enter the world of Nanaimo 1200. Diving in from the unboxing, you can see that there are a lot of information to find out there, from the actual what's inside in the box to the outputs and runtimes, and actually it includes light sensor as well, so it's a nice thing to have. What I wasn't aware that it will include the mounting as well in the package, so that's nice because I have Syncros mount and I just thought that I will mount it out there, but it's included as well. So if you don't have any mounts of this like, you are covered already. That's how the light itself looks like, and actually I wasn't aware how it will be connected with that mount in the first place, but you can see that there is two lights at front and then two buttons on the side. The one which I'm pushing here is actually for different purposes than shining the light, but this one will do the thing. So there is a steady high mode of 1200 lumens, then medium of 800, low of 400, then steady flashing of 200 lumens, and then light sensitive mode, which in reality would kind of readjust based on the day and night conditions. I haven't tested this out, but in the dark it kind of lights at the most, which is 600 lumens at the maximum level. So this mount actually just goes inside the body. It separates from that handle, so if you have any kind of mount, or for example already have Syncros mount on your handlebars, you just remove that piece and insert it into the body, and you can see that it's kind of sticks there, and the button on the side would allow to remove it. The instructions here are quite straightforward. I always tend to say that instructions are for noobs, but in reality this was very nicely visualized, and you even don't need to understand English to understand what it does. So you can see that all is covered here. There are available spare parts, which actually are the ones which I already have. So I have Syncros mount as well as the GoPro addition to the bottom of it, so that way I can just mount it on the handlebars directly. So it looks great in theory, it looks nice having a look at it in the room conditions, but let's just have a look how it will behave in real life scenario. You will see how this light shines in completely dark environment. As mentioned previously, it has 5 modes: steady high, steady medium, steady low, then steady flashing. Because it has flashing mode, keep in mind it's not compliant with German road rules, and it's also have light sensitive mode. If you are about the numbers, so the runtime at maximum lumens of 1200 runs for 1 hour and a half, then 800s for 3 hours, 400 for 6, and so on and so forth. I had few lights here and there, but none of them was as much powerful as this one. Here we will also see some comparison with other lights. They are not from the same spec and the same level of quality, but you can see the difference. For example, if you have 300 lumens light, you can see that there is quite significant difference of what those can offer, and also the cost involved in this, it's also important, because this Syncros Nanaimo costs around 120 euros, while the others showcased here are around 50-60 euros or so. So It's not in the same price range, but at the same time you can understand that the more you invest into this, the better experience going to be. Definitely it depends on your budget, but something above 1000 lumens is essential if you are going into a forest in the dark, and especially if you are going into unknown places. As I have this live for a while already, I can share with you a few things. So basically, once you connect the mount with your handlebars or any other mount, in order to remove the light, you just press that button. This one remains connected to your mount, and that way you can easily remove the light without a need to unscrew it, because in reality it comes with a bolt, and it also has some thread lock applied to it, so that way you will make sure that it sticks there. It's also very important to know how the light behaves and how much battery is left inside. So basically, once you click the button for short period of time, it showcases the color. If it's green, it has something from 40 to 100 battery left. If it's orange, it's between 10 and 40, and if it's red, you are 10% to your output out. Also, once it goes to the low battery mode, it shines less intense and turns on the lowest mode. So that's kind of just the same thing like all lights behave. But the good thing, and actually the most important reason why I chosen this one, is this mount. So you can have imagination and understand that if you have this type of mount, you can easily connect it to your helmet. So for the simplest example, let's say you have adhesive mount, you just place this one inside, and then you put it inside, you add screw here, and if you're placing it inside and connecting it, you will have ability to add it to your helmet as well, or basically any other surface. Definitely there can be a different type of mount, not necessarily adhesive one, because on this type of helmet there is no much room to connect that adhesive tape, but actually you could add it somewhere here, then control the angle, and I believe it would work nicely. But of course you could add some straps to the helmet, and that will serve a purpose as well. That's kind of the main reason why I chosen this, is that whenever I want to use it as a different purpose light, specifically for riding in the forest, I could also apply it on the helmet too. The charging, it has a port here, which is USB-C. Nice to have USB-C nowadays. It says that charging can take up to 6 hours and a half. I didn't check the time for this one, but in general, if you just go back from the ride, you should make sure to connect and charge it again, because if you go into unknown locations in the nighttime, you don't want to lose the light. The reason why I don't showcase it on the bike directly is because my bike currently does not have the fork, so that means handlebars are just flying in the air. But I tested this on the hardtail, because I have not a Syncros one, but Rotor mount, which also includes the GoPro handle at the bottom, and it kind of serves the purpose as expected. So having the light which is strong enough to go in the forest, as well as have different mounting options, is kind of essential thing to do. And for this type of quality and light intensity, 120 euros is kind of not that much to invest into the lights, because it's your safety in the end. Of course, there are more expensive lights as well as less expensive ones, but the main thing to consider is to have a look whether the light shines not in some directional area, but just spreads around. And in order for it to spread around, you need to have enough lumens in order to have enough distance for lighting your way into the forest, I would say, because I ride in the forest. Anyways, this was Syncros Nanaimo. We will see how it will behave in extreme weather conditions and especially in the colds. After just trial and error of lights in 50-60 euros range, I finally found something a bit more expensive, but hopefully it will serve the purpose. Maybe I will do some future videos about how it will behave in different use case scenarios, but I hope that all will be fine. Thanks for the time, and I hope to see you around. Bye. Oh, and by the way, if you wonder what has happened to the fork of Scotspark RC Pro, I will have something for you there. Yeah, there.